Ask Reddit. What's some juicy gossip you just found out in your personal lives? Part 2. A girl I worked with accused me of getting extremely drunk while babysitting her child and told the entire building of people I work with. For starters, I don't drink. She compulsively lies and everyone knows her for that, but I still can't believe it. Oh, and she paid me 10 for watching said kid and then stole it back and blamed it on one of my house guests. Wild. My ex-wife and I finalized our divorce last June. She's giving birth in a few weeks with a guy she was cheating on me with. If it was anyone else I wouldn't care as much, but since it's this guy, it hurts. Oh, and she email invited me to buy them gifts off of their baby registry, so I'm trying to think of the most petty item I could get, though I know I shouldn't show I give a shit. Buy them a paternity test. It will get in new guy's head. One of my workmates found another guy we work with on Tinder, but he's married with a 3-year-old at home, and his bio and photos said nothing about any of that. My gran has a brother who I've never heard of nor met, who lives in London. They lost all contact over 30 years ago after my granddad died, and he spent the money my gran sent him for transport up to Scotland for the funeral on drugs. My mum told me this over Facebook last week. My 2 friends just found out they have the same sugar daddy. They had both been under the impression that they were exclusive with him. Not recently, but the biggest is that my aunt got arrested a while back for embezzlement. She didn't do any jail time, I don't think, just has to pay it back. This isn't much of a surprise though, because after the roof of the Blockbuster she managed collapsed, she stole all the candy, lol. My hairdresser is leaving her husband and 5 kids to marry an Italian basketball player. Manager is having threesomes with 2 servers. I was told that my great-grandfather kept the family farm in business by blatant and repeated acts of insurance fraud. Just found out that my brother, who divorced his ex-wife 1 year ago, got married to a new woman in secret. I mean secret as in that he hasn't told his own kids about it, 10 and 12 years old. He hasn't told us either, rest of the family. My mother just accidentally said it to all of us. So now we know, but are to pretend we don't know. None of us have met his new wife that we don't know is his wife but still know is his wife. My co-worker makes 10 hours, works part-time and pays for her living. Still married. Boyfriend's rent and child support cause he's broke. She just found his bank receipt showing 17k in his checking account. An ex-friend of mine from high school is now in the middle of the 2nd divorce. Apparently it's because she cheated on her 2nd husband with her now current boyfriend. This is the 2nd time she's cheated on her husband, and I'm curious if she'll marry the current boyfriend and then cheat on him. A couple that we have been friends with for a few years now, both very normal people with vanilla jobs, took a trip overseas that was supposed to last 1 week. Not unusual for any of our group of friends. Number 1 had heard from them for close to 1 month until we found out they've been arrested on the other side of the fucking earth trying to smuggle out close to $1 million for an international drug cartel out of the country they were visiting. When we heard the news we were just sitting there quietly in disbelief for about 5 minutes. Well, my dog acts like she doesn't like our new cat, but I caught them playing last night and as soon as she noticed me she runs over to me pretending she wasn't playing. Scandal. I have no life. This was the peak of my weekend. My stepbrother started dating this girl a short while ago. They were invited to my wedding. But then his dad basically uninvited him to the wedding because it turns out the girl is a prostitute and my stepbrother will bring her to clients. So he is kind of in pimp territory. Also she makes porn movies. And she's pregnant. And we assume it is my stepbrother's baby. My family is quite normal otherwise. This is like mega gossip for my family. Edit a few things. I am not comfortable giving out her porn name. But she is in the BBW category. As far as him being a pimp. She was doing this before they met. He is still technically a pimp. Doing deliveries and such. But this isn't some human trafficking thing. According to the information I have. They found out by someone on my stepdad's side of the family stumbling onto her porn online. My stepbrother is in a few of the videos. Some time ago some girl jokingly said she wants her BF to get her pregnant or else he will leave her. Guess who's unexpectedly pregnant? Some time ago some girl jokingly said she wants her BF to get her pregnant or else he will leave her. Guess who's unexpectedly pregnant? Best advice for these girls. Sex won't make him yours. And a baby won't make him stay. My grandmother told me a couple months ago that around the time of her divorce from my biological grandfather, another lady in their small town had a baby. When grandma finally saw the baby, after friends suspiciously tried to keep her from seeing it, it looked exactly like her soon-to-be ex-husband. I was the first person to be told about this. My mom now knows. But my aunts and uncles have no idea they have another half-sister running around somewhere. Edit. My highest upvoted comment is now about my cheating biological grandfather. Cool. For those that have suggested trying to find her, my brother took a DNA ancestry test last year. I'll ask him about the family tree part and what he found. Regarding telling the other family members, it's certainly not my place. The problem is that biological grandpa who will be BG from now on was a piece of shit. He was abusive, drank himself to death, and abandoned my mom. The other relatives want to just move on. He isn't talked about anymore. Grandma is trying to respect that, especially my uncle, who didn't speak to her for a long while because he felt like she was just trying to turn the family against BG. If they accidentally find out through a DNA test, it truthfully would probably be less drama that way. I just found out that one of my work colleagues who just returned from a 2-week expensive holiday with his wife in Iceland has just found out his wife has run up about 50,000 debt on numerous credit cards. My buddy got so drunk at a party, he whipped his dick out in the living room. This is juicy because he's in his mid-30s, has 2 kids and a great job. His wife told him he did it the next day cause he sure as shit didn't remember, and nearly everyone present was a co-worker of ours. The head chef at my work has worked there for 34 years and is retiring. His stepdaughter is a server there as well. New sous chef will be replacing head chef. New sous chef is sneaking into head chef's house at night to F head chef's stepdaughter. New sous chef has a live-in girlfriend of like 6 years and is daddy to her kid. Friend, who I'll call Joe, is 12 years older than his girlfriend, who I'll call Jessica. They met when she was 18 and he was dating someone else. We'll call her Mary. He cheated on Mary with Jessica. Mary went psycho. They broke up and he and the Jessica got into a relationship. The next few years, she'd sneak out of college to meet him. Her family didn't like him because he was so much older and thought he was only in it for her money. Somehow they made it for 9 years 1 year ago. He said in some social media post that he was single. 2 months later, he announced his engagement with a young woman. Talking to friends with more familiarity of the situation, it turned out Jessica had to put up with a lot. Mary continued to be psycho and harassed her lot. This was because she was 34 and was planning on having kids with Joe before he cheated on her, and so she considers Jessica her life ruiner. And Joe apparently cheated on Jessica as well, triggering mental health issues in her. After a psychotic episode, they broke up, but then he wanted to settle down and have kids, so he proposed to Jessica, and she accepted. Now they are planning a big ass wedding. I can't wait for the shit show it's going to be. Thanks for watching. Subscribe and like if you want more. Talking meme.